Welcome to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello and welcome to the AstroEnergy Astrology Show for Tuesday, June 27th, 2017. How are you? Hope you've been having a good week. Boy, it's been an interesting week, and I haven't even been paying attention to the news stories, so it could probably even be more interesting than that. I've had an interesting beginning to my week. I ended up tripping yesterday, and I think I broke my toe. So my streak of having my accident proneness is still there, unfortunately. And but on a good note, I may be going on a wonderful vacation at Christmas, so I'll keep you posted. I'm not going to spill all of it right now, but yeah, I have potential to go on a great trip. So it wasn't a total waste, a total bad Monday, but I'm still a little bit in pain. And my bruise on the back of my head from last week is gone, so that's a good thing, right? Anyway, let's see what's going on. And, a lot of the aspects are going to be kind of difficult this week. So we've got that coming in, and that's part of the reason for the title of the show about the friction in the aspects. So anyway, we've got that's my chart. Let's move my chart out of the way and get everybody's chart. Okay, so the moon is at 24 Leo, which means that we've been paying attention to children and creativity and our leadership positions. Maybe we're not getting as much leadership authority, or maybe people are finally starting to give us some recognition for what we know. That's the energy with the moon right now. It's at 24, which means by the end of the day, it will be in Virgo, and I can tell you when that's going to be. It is 8:41 p.m. Eastern and 5:41 p.m. Pacific. So that means by the end of the day, it's moving from children and that creative mode and loving, warm, generous energy, sun energy, into Virgo, which is Mercury energy, and much more analytical, little emotionally reserved. It's the energy of health and healing and education, elementary education, teachers, that kind of energy. Anyone in the I can't get my brain to work right now. In the medical field. There we go. Finally got it out. You think you would think I'm already feeling the effects of Moon and Mercury ruled energy of Virgo. But actually what I'm feeling is the Sun, Mercury, and Mars in Cancer and trine to Neptune. So that's a lot of water, and I have a lot of water in my chart anyway. I already have okay. For some reason, my brain does not want to run my tongue. Anyway, so the Sun in Cancer means that right now we're feeling really attracted to family, to home, and we're probably likely wanting to just hole up within the house. I personally have most of my days in the house because I work out of the home, and I'm kind of going a little stir crazy, but maybe not you. Maybe you're out in the world and you're feeling like it's a little too overwhelming, and the Cancer energy, because it's emotional, water energy, is going to make us feel a little overwhelmed. There's a lot of energy in water right now, and there's a lot of energy expressing in air for a good part of the day, fire. So the water energy also has Mercury, and Mercury's opposing Pluto, which is also conjunct Mars, and Mars is opposing Pluto. So Mars' energy of action and drive, masculinity, is in a feminine water energy, a mothering, nurturing energy, and the way it expresses in that sign is it needs security. It needs to know that there is some structure, there is some support for that nurturing side of things, and does tend to express more as a mother would express, but more of an authoritarian mother, someone who is like, pick up your socks, I'm not your maid. So we've got that really strong Mars in Cancer right now. And then Mercury is usually an air energy or an earth energy in Gemini or Virgo, respectively. And in Cancer, it gets bogged down with emotion. It really has, and that's honestly what's going on with me as well mentally, because it brings water into it. And if you think about, I wish I could give you a tour of my mind because it works very much in pictures and energy and feeling. And so when I think about what Mercury in Cancer is like, it immediately goes to this sense of, if you take air energy, which Mercury does well at, it's very intelligent and quick and sharp in air energy, because air doesn't obstruct it. It isn't an obstruction of that electrical impulse. Water is a conductor of electricity, but it can also feel like you're trying to have thoughts with jello in your brain. And that is not fun. So Mercury in Cancer can be a little difficult, and we're having a harder time getting our ideas to express. So when you have the Sun, which is your sense of self and your sense of ego, which also whenever the Sun is in any sign, it brings that sense of righteousness and protectiveness, because the ego wants to protect what is its own. You get this really strong wanting to protect the home life and the environment and the mother figure or the mother energy of the zodiac. And it's also very intuitive psychic energy. So it is the energy where someone can lie to you and you're like, that's not true. I see right through you. You're going to have that feeling now, and it's going to be kind of the mother, like moms always know. And so we've got that energy going on. And then Mercury, while it's bogged down a little bit, it is still Mercury. So instead of being able to intellectualize the information, it intuits the information. So not only is it doing that, but it will also be influencing Mars and vice versa, because it is right next to Mars. And the two join together on Wednesday at 3:50 p.m. Eastern, 12:50 Pacific. So we've got this approach of this really strong energy around thought and expression and acting out on it, but is wrapped around material security, having protection of the family, nurturing those who are seen as you're responsible for, and kind of becoming a mom to those around you. So this energy is building, but at the same time, both Mercury and Mars are ahead of the Sun, which means they're acting kind of on their own accord. And so they're not really expressing the way they normally do. They're more of like, the term is out of bounds, so they're running free, so to speak, and they're going to do what they want to do. Now, Mercury, of course, Mercury rules communications, so if you have trouble with your phone, or if there's something like, honestly, right now, I would tell you be careful around toilets. Be careful putting it in your back pocket. I'm going to be extra cautious around that myself, because I actually have fished my phone out of a toilet before, and I don't like doing that. So I check my back pockets before I go to the bathroom, because I always know I tuck them in my back pocket. And with this energy, Mercury rules accidents, so there is a potential of an accident around water, and also coming up on Mars. So it's a more aggressive energy. It's something that can change everything, because Mercury and Mars are in opposition to Pluto in Capricorn, which rules structure, rules the materiality of life, and the physicality. All our signs are about physicality of things in the material world. So an opposition means there is a major shift or a major change around structure. At the same time, it is also ruler of corporate America, government, transportation structures. So the roadways or buildings going up, and right now, honestly, and this is kind of reading I would give you if you had a private reading, but having these energies right now in opposition to each other can, like if a building were to be built in this week, if they're constructing it this week, whatever they're constructing is more susceptible to water damage and having water issues, plumbing issues. And so you may find that you've got some plumbing issues going on right now. Or even, like for me, I don't have gutters on the house I live in, and I've been trying to get that taken care of since I've lived here for a year and a half, and it hasn't happened yet. So I've got these torrential rains every day, and again yesterday we had one, and it was just gushing off of my roof. So it consequently is damaging the structure of the deck. So that's kind of an example of how this can affect structure right now. So if you've got that going on in your world, or even emotionally, what it is the family opposing the corporate or authority structure, the government structure. So there's deep emotion around protection of family, protection of homeland, going up against what appears to be the unbending, unmoving structure of the powers that be, quote unquote, City Hall. So we've got this really strong tug of war going on with these energies. At the same time, astrologically, there's also the idea of synergy. So they can work together. So what can go on is Mars Mercury conjunct can shift and change the physical structure of something through water, but will ultimately be, and honestly, I haven't seen what's been going on with New Orleans and the last tropical storm that came through there, but that's kind of another example of this energy going through, that the structures will change through the water, and the water represents emotion, so that the emotion bubbles up to the surface through the group of people and standing up against the structure. So it can not only mean flooding, breaking down of the structure, but also emotion, having a meltdown emotionally, going up against someone else who appears to be resisting your energy and keeping you from what you want. So that's a huge dynamic today. We've also got a trine, a grand trine in fire with Moon at 24 Leo, Uranus at 27 Aries, and 23 degrees Saturn in Sagittarius retrograde. So we have the energy again of the moon. So all three planets, Sun, Mercury, and Mars, answer to the moon in Leo, like I said, until later today when it gets much more pragmatic. But right now it's very generous, very outgoing, very flamboyant, wants to have the attention, and Uranus in Aries is about getting that physical structure going of the business. It's about having your thoughts and your ideas, creative ideas, innovations, inventions, moving forward with a way to sell that. And also Saturn retrograde, while these other two bodies are in positive aspect and moving forward, Saturn is retrograde. So there's still something about the structure of the endeavor that needs to be hammered out. So we'll see some of that. And then it is also education with the Sagittarius connection and travel. So there may be something about travel, which I don't want to think about because of the trip that is going to happen. The plans are getting planned, and that could change. So Saturn means we're going back over some old territory, and when it moves forward, there may be a physical reason why something shifts and changes, and change in travel plans. So we've got Saturn going direct in August. I'm going to double check. I think it was the 26th. Yeah, August 26th. It goes direct, and we'll get back to this degree in, let's see, 2337. So it's going to be mid-October. So we'll see it go the 21st of October, which is a pretty significant time, as it's got two planets in Libra, 3 planets in Scorpio, an Aries, a Pisces, and a Capricorn. So it's pretty intense energy, especially with all that Scorpio. But we will be going back over things, coordination of what we're doing this week. We will find we'll experience it again coming up in October and have a shift and change of plans. So knock wood, everything turns out okay that we do this week, right? Okay, let's see. We've got a square between Jupiter, which is at 13 degrees Libra, to all of the Cancer planets. And then, of course, Pluto at 18 Capricorn. Jupiter is still approaching that. And there will be, let me move my ephemeris over just a little so I can give you an accurate reading. So Jupiter at 18, actually I think it's going to square it direct at 17 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, Jupiter and Saturn will be in direct square, or Pluto, Pluto at the end of the month. Let me see, maybe the next month. I'm just looking at the exact degrees. Degree, 33, 32. I take it back. It'll be August 4th, 5th timeline. So we're going to have a pretty strong shift around relationships, cooperation, authority versus balance, and the people. So again, it's kind of the ongoing story politically of the rights of the people versus authority. And interestingly, I know that they're having some questions here and there about gay marriage, which could potentially have a shift. And I've actually also seen that in Germany, that was a little bit of a release of some of the dogma of the right in Germany around gay marriage this week. But when Jupiter hits a square to Pluto at the beginning of August, it's going to come up again in the crosshairs of lawyers, lawmakers, politicians. And so we'll see that, but also Pluto, again, will retrograde one more, or go direct out of its retrograde, and then that will shift the energy for a final pass over this degree, but that doesn't happen until, when do you go direct, Pluto, dear Pluto? I'm just looking here real quick. I'm just trying to kill air time until I can find. There it is. Okay, September 29th. So after September 29th, we'll see it move direct again, and we'll get back to this point. But by then, Jupiter will be in Scorpio, and there will be more cooperation heading into the situation. So anything, if there is a loss of forward momentum around marriage or partnership, it's going to shift and change one more time in late September. So we'll see kind of the back and forth of that. Again, Neptune's in Pisces at 14 degrees, so he's retrograde, meaning looking back again at oceans and water and issues around that. We have the nodes at 25 Aquarius and 25 Leo, which means the moon, if I refresh my current chart, we're about, I would say, an hour and a half away from an exact conjunction of the nodes so the north node with the moon. So there is something significant around children and creative endeavors, leadership roles, anything Leonine. So, and it could also mean royalty. So that'll be interesting to find out if there's anything in the news about royalty. It's one of my kind of pet subjects. And then finally, we have Venus at 21 Taurus. So she is in her own sign. Taurus is the realm of material goods around desires. It's beauty, luxury, fashion, hairstyles, anything that enhances beauty. Venus, Venusian. It can be art. It can be music, musical instruments, things that enhance our world in a beautiful way. So she is in trine to Pluto. So right now, material goods should be doing well. I haven't really looked today at what's going on with the stock market, although interestingly, there is the NASDAQ is down, Apple is down, eBay's down, Google's down, Amazon's down, but the ones that have been kind of taking a hit during the Saturn retrograde period, and some of them interestingly, are more Sagittarian energy, which Disney is a Sagittarius company. It's doing well, and it's going up. And then another one, there's another company I followed that's an investment company. It's doing well, and also Etsy. So interesting. So today we've got kind of a reverse of fortunes for those that don't normally do well are doing well, and those that don't are normally do well aren't. So yeah, definitely opposition with all the planets in Cancer to Pluto will have an effect on the stock market. And then Venus is squaring the moon today, and I didn't realize that, but yeah, she's squaring the moon, which is also desire. And when you look at the stock market, the moon is such a fast-moving significator in the sky, which means that it indicates outcomes, that it can mean that there can be difficulty. So when the moon goes into Virgo, I think that will shift the market a little bit more. So that's probably going to be tomorrow, because tomorrow is when the moon will start to move into trine with Venus. And then that will also round out a trine with Pluto. So we've got that coming in. Let me just see if I can find how long that'll be. Let's see. Moon, trine, Venus. Or is it sextile? I'm sorry, I'm just looking. No, it's trine. Moon trines, well, trines are sextiles Wednesday. The moon sextiles Mercury and Mars, and she opposes Neptune. And then, where the heck is it? There it is. Moon trines Venus at 4:35 p.m. on Thursday. So that's probably going to be a really good aspect for the stock market, or for buying any healthcare stocks, any pharmaceutical stocks, things that relate to goods of medical field and service and health. And right after that, she's void of course. So that doesn't make sense to me. How could the moon be void of course, but then oppose? Oh no, that's Mercury. That's how. Okay. Anyway, so she goes void of course before she changes signs. Anyway, so that's what we have for this week astrologically, and I am going to go to the phone lines after a quick break, and then we'll see what questions our callers have. I'm very excited to hear about that. So here, let's go 2-minute break. Hi, welcome back. My name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida, and thank you for listening. If you have an interest in getting a private reading with me, you can get me at astrologerangel.com or via email at shelley@astrologerangel. That's SHELLEY. And if you want to see some of my artwork, you can go to shelleyoverton.com and you'll see a bunch of my artwork there. So, and I'm just going to put a plug in real quick for my Facebook pages because I do post on Facebook for Astrologer Angel and AstroEnergy. So you can go check those out. Just type those words in on Facebook and you'll see me, and you can like the page and continue to get notifications about different events and also when the planets change and shift or some significant planetary aspects. So the last thing I want to plug, though, is I'm going to be having a class on astrology in Orlando. So that's going to happen July 15th, which is a Saturday from 1 to 3. If you're interested in that, you can also email me. I'm in the process of getting that page set up, but I wanted to let you know because it's only 2 weeks away, and I want to make sure that my listeners know, if you're in the Orlando area or traveling here, that it'll be from 1 to 3 p.m. And you can find out more about it keeping up on my Facebook page because I will be posting a link there. And I'm going to be putting it up on Evensi, EVENSI. And so, yeah. Anyway, I hope you can make it because I'd really love to see you and meet some of the people who listen to the show. All right, so let's take, I don't know what I did. Oh, I made it smaller. Okay. Everybody fit on the page there real quick. I just hit something. I'm like, how did I do that? Anyway, 817. Hi, how are you? Who is this?
Hey, Shelley, it's Nancy. How are you?
Hi, Nancy. I'm doing well, and I don't have your information on my AstroEnergy site. Anyway, I didn't even let you finish. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. How are you? It's been a while.
I'm fine.
Out of pocket. It's all going good? Yeah.
Oh, good. Let me actually, I was just going to look you up and see if I have you in my other site. But I'll just have you real quick. Give me your birth information because I don't see it here.
Sure. 329.
Okay.
61.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
329.
Oh, okay.
61. 150
okay.
a.m.
Okay.
Chicago.
Okay, great. All right, what can I do for you?
Working? I was just curious with all this energy going on all the war. You transfer programs. You got a new program, right?
I haven't got a new program. I have a new computer, so it's still giving me certain glitches, but it's okay. I will get it eventually. I just have a kind of a never-ending list of things I want to buy, which is why it's always on the list. So anyway, yeah. So what can I do for you?
Well, just with all the energy that's going on right now with Mars and Cancer, I have Mars and Cancer. I have, how does that, anything that you see coming up that I need to be aware of, or, again, that move is still in the process and hopefully coming soon. We've changed locations 3 or 4 times. There's been lots of different shifting, and a lot of it didn't work out. I think you had said at one point more like August, September. I think initially you said that anyway, and that was back in March. And so when we had the private reading.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you see anything on that.
Yeah, there's still some shifts and changes. And Pluto going direct is going to be a big thing. I think that's the end of September that I mentioned just a little bit ago. That's going to hit your natal Saturn as it goes forward. And then right after that, you're going to have Saturn also, at the end of August is when Saturn moves direct, and that's going to help. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit scattered. Juliet, please. Sorry, my daughter's making a lot of noise here. So, no, the opposition, the Mars going into Leo, which will help with joint finances. Is this a joint financial thing or no?
Yeah, we'll be buying a property together, obviously.
Right. Yeah, the Mars going in there in Leo is going to be much more tremendous help. Let me see. Venus is in Taurus right now, which Leo, Sun. Yeah, I think that I agree with the August timeline because the August timeline is going to be more with the Leo energy, which is the joint finances, and also going into the contracts, the joint financial contracts. So let me see when Mars gets there. For you, it's going to be August 6th. Mars is taking action. And then also once it gets there, it'll go over Uranus, which is an unexpected offer. I would watch out for that one because, and at the same time, right now, you also have Vesta right at that degree, right next to Uranus. So there's a female energy that may be giving you difficulty over documents and structure of things. Is that still going on, or is that going on again?
Well, the property that we're interested in and in the process of going forward with, which would close right around August, beginning of August, middle of August, is with a female for sale by owner. Yeah, it is with a female.
Okay.
Which she's been very easygoing and very easy to work with so far, but we don't obviously know her that well. It's for sale by owner. But it's none of the properties that we've been looking at in the past. It's a totally new one.
Well, you have the North Node, so it looks like it will be a positive energy. I mean, the North Node is really a fortunate energy, and right now the moon is within 2 degrees of your North Node, so that's positive. The Vesta is always, I would say Vesta can be like a real estate agent who doesn't necessarily have all the paperwork together, or the title company, that kind of thing. So just watch out for that difficulty around like the organization or the paperwork kind of thing, the keeper of the information, especially when you're looking at contracts, because I don't know if you remember or heard the show about Vesta, but Vesta is the keeper of the paperwork and like the vault keeper. So there's that archetype going on with this. So something going on like, you didn't have your T's crossed and your I's dotted. So that energy is there. But definitely Mars coming up is going to push it forward. And so Mars getting to Virgo 6 degrees is going to be really what I consider to be the culmination of everything, because that's the degree that everything, it's like you have Uranus, Moon, North Node, and then Pluto in your natal chart. And Pluto is the culmination and the shift and change. And so that, having Mars at that degree, it's 6 degrees, which will be September 15th. So, that might be the point where everything is finally, all the paperwork is as it should be. But it's going to begin, there's definitely going to be, I want to say there might be some more negotiation due to someone being fickle. Uranus in Leo is that energy around, it could be vanity, it could be, and Virgo energy can also bring in vanity. I know you don't think of Virgo as vain, but Virgo has naturally in a wheel has Leo in the 12th, so that can make, there's something like, no, I think I want them to paint the house green before I buy it, or something like that. It could be something superficial like that. But
the banker's a female as well. So the banker's a female and the seller's a female. So that wouldn't surprise me if there's paperwork. And I think the banker's a Virgo for some reason. She has something to do with Virgo. She's quite a stickler about details, which is good. Yeah. I mean, she's a stickler, but she can be a pain in the butt too. Some of the deals haven't gone through because of her, because there was, the dot and the T's and the I's and all that. It was because of her. The last property didn't appraise the way she liked it, so we weren't able to get the loan on it. But this one seems to be going pretty smoothly, but it's fairly new. And like I said, the seller, we really, really like her. I don't know her birth date, but she's really a great energy from her. So, but
the one thing I'm going to caution, I was just going to say Uranus goes retrograde on August 3rd. So that's like, yes, Mars is getting into your house of joint finances, but then Uranus, which is right on your natal Venus. Right now, Uranus is on your natal Venus, and at the very beginning, like literally 26 degrees on your home and family cusp, Uranus is at 27 on your Venus at 27, just inside the cusp of your home and family. And your natal Venus is in Aries, and Uranus goes retrograde on the 3rd. So I'm guessing that's going to be something affecting this event. I'm just giving you heads up. There could be something like a change of mind, or that's kind of what I think it could be, some type of change of mind around something. Even it could be on your part. Okay. So I'm just giving you a heads up. If it goes through, it'll go through just after that. But there is a potential for a change in mindset around buying it. And when Uranus goes retrograde, let me see how far it goes retrograde. Up to 25, 24, and let me get into the next year because I think it's retrograde through the beginning of next year and turns direct the 3rd of January. And it'll be at 24, which is outside of your home and family. And then when it goes direct, it'll actually go past that degree, and it'll get past the sale degree. So I'm thinking maybe I don't want to tell you this because I know you've been dealing with this for so long, but next year is actually probably more likely to be a culmination of a move. I think that there's definitely something that's going to go on because Uranus goes into Taurus in May of next year, and it's a pretty significant shift. And because you have Venus at 27 Aries in your home and family house, it could drag something out. Uranus normally it can be very fickle. When it's on your Venus, it affects your desires. And since you have Uranus in your house of joint finances, and that would also be joint property, let me see. Yeah, it's in a trine to it. So if you move forward, I want to say if you move forward, you may not stay there very long. And I would think you even potentially will, you could potentially go forward with it. Again, Mars will hit Uranus natally. Your natal Uranus is in the house of joint finances, followed by the moon. Transiting Uranus is on your Venus in your home and family. So that kind of concerns me. If it were just the influence of one of the Uranuses in your chart, I would say, things could shift. Somebody may have a change of mind. The electronics could go down and change the closing date. But when you have Uranus on your Venus, which rules property in the sign of Aries, which is sales, that's telling me that you're having a change of heart, especially because it's going back into the house of thought and you're going to start to rethink it. So, and it's coming really close to the sale date. So let me see when Mercury retrogrades again, too, because that'll influence it for sure, because that's contracts. Let me see. And I know you've been so patient trying to do this. Yeah, Mercury retrogrades on July 26th for 3 weeks. So it'll be retrograde until the 19th of August. So, that tells me, and it's in the sign of Leo. I think it goes from Virgo. 23 Leo. It'll all be in Leo, which is your house of joint finances. I don't want to be the astrologer who tells you this, but I'm telling you it's probably going to have some unexpected problems, issues, or change of heart.
Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens. I believe in divine intervention if it is what it is,
Well, I think, and again, because of that, next year, everything is going to go much more positively as far as I can tell, because you have all the Virgo and the Pluto at early degrees of the sign in your house of joint finances and property. So next year, you're going to end up with all that energy triggering your Virgo in your house of joint finances, which is the material world and the material goods and a connectedness on an earthy level, as opposed to I just want to do it, I want to go forward, the brash fire energy. Let me look at one other thing here. Pardon me?
Well, of course, Mark's involved in that, and his is a little different, but he has Pluto on his ascendant too. But this could potentially be a good investment property if we were to buy it and sell it next year. I don't think we would lose money. If anything, we would probably make money. But it really wasn't something we were looking to do.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Okay. I just want to alter something I said, because I was in the wrong ephemeris. I was in 2018. Mercury retrogrades on the 13th of August. So
good.
That's a little bit of leeway, because if you're going to close the first week or before the 13th, then you've got the energy going forward. When Mercury retrogrades afterwards, then there may be some other issues, like with the paperwork you have to clear up or whatever. But if you get it
Mhm.
closed before the retrograde, then that could be more positive. So that's actually
Yeah,
that's actually a benefit.
I like to hear that. Yeah, because we were hoping
Yeah.
to close. It looks like it's the first week of August, if not the end of it. And the move for me
Okay.
probably wouldn't happen till the middle end of August anyway, because of what I've got doing for work. And Mark would be sooner than me probably. If that
I'm
were the
gonna
case.
guess closing is probably. You think in the first 2 days, maybe? I would go for the first 2 days if you
Okay,
could.
good. Well, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
30 days from contract, and that should be today or tomorrow. So it's close to the 30th, the first. So that works. What day of the week is that?
Well, it's a
August.
significant day. Saturn goes retrograde on the 1st. No,
Oh, so that's a good.
I swear to God. Yeah, I take it back. It's not. It's not retrograde. It is retrograde. It doesn't go retrograde. It's just the way that this ephemeris is set up. I swear. Sometimes, you ever wonder about those days when your head is a little foggy? Today's
Yeah.
one of those days for me.
There's a lot
Yeah,
going on
but
in the August 1st or 2nd
yeah.
is good timing? Okay.
Yeah, actually it's pretty good timing for, all you've got Mars and Leo, which is triggering your house of joint finances. So, and then Venus is a Cancer. Let me see, where's Venus in Cancer? That's with the very last degree of work and health, and then it goes the next day into, and also the energy around it as time goes on would be, positive for the marriage, because then Venus will be right in your marriage house as you go forward. So that would be good. Did I lose you? Oh, looks like you dropped off. I apologize, but anyway, thank you for your call. And we're going to go on to the next caller. 561. Hi, 561. How are you?
Hi, Shelley. How are you?
Good. Who is this?
My first name is James.
Spell it. James?
James.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, great.
No worries.
And yeah, let me get a little information here into the computer. So what's your birthday?
Sure. It's 3/30/85.
Okay. And what time?
That's 10:30 a.m.
Okay. And where were you born?
Miami, Florida.
Okay, wonderful. So what can I do for you today?
I just want to know what sticks out. I am completely open to what sticks out to you, especially during this time.
Okay, wonderful. Well, with all the Cancer energy, that's probably where I'm going to go. You've got a couple things that stick out, and that is, well, you got a lot of shifts of planets across the cusp of different houses, which means that you're dealing with kind of a new energy for all those houses, which I'll get to in a minute. But all the Cancer energy is in your first house. You have a 22-degree Gemini rising. And so having Cancer in the first house is really, you're aware of the moodiness of the time right now. So as the planets, and they're all before 18 degrees, which puts them in your first house, but once they hit 18, they're in your second house. And then it hits your moon. You have a moon at 21 Cancer. So security is important to you, and so you're going to be feeling it really strongly this week, wanting to know that everything's going to be okay. Yeah, it's just that emotional connectedness that you're feeling. And is your mother still around? Is she on the earthly plane?
Yes, she is. Yes.
Okay, so there's some strong energy coming up for her, around her, this coming week. And actually this whole month, you're going to be feeling more energy around issues that she may have to deal with, or even dealing with finances for her or something like that. Or your mentality around how money is going to be triggered, and it's based on your view of your mother or the dynamic you have with your mother, and that's a lifetime thing. The moon in your house of money connects your finances to your mother for life, so to speak, especially because it's only 3 degrees into your house of money. So you've got the whole of the house that it has to move by progression. By now, your progress chart, you probably have moon, let me do the math a little bit, somewhere in late Leo, possibly into Virgo right now. But it depends. Like, how do you, like emotionally, are you more about expressing yourself, or are you kind of more wanting to be subdued and, maybe a little bit more alone?
You know what, I go back and forth. I know that being alone helps me to get clear, but then there are times when I really want to express myself.
Okay. Well, I would say you probably have moon at late. By progression, you have it at late Leo around now, just because it's about 1 year per day, or 1 degree per year. So, however old you are, and the math, what are you, about 40?
32.
32. I sound really bad.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no.
crossing over the millennium, that drives me nuts, because I'm like, man, when you add the millennium to it, then my numbers go all I actually have to count the decades when I do ages like that, because it does confuse me. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to make you that old.
No, not at all.
So anyway, you're probably right there close to a moon in Virgo. You're going to be going into a moon in Virgo by progression soon. So that'll make you a little bit more pragmatic about things, especially communication. But anyway, money's going to be triggered, mom's going to be triggered, and then you have Neptune is up in your career house. So you're feeling that now. All the emotions definitely about the ability to create something much more profound for you, for your life, is really, you're going to be feeling this for the next, over a decade, okay? Because
wow.
Neptune is in Pisces through, I think, 2027, if I'm not mistaken. It's somewhere in the late 20s. And then you have all that energy in your career house, and then it goes into Aries, and you have 13 degrees of Aries. So it's pretty much Neptune is set there, I would say, for almost 20 years for you right now. Mm-hmm. So just know that you've got Neptune, which is film. If you're interested in doing film or photography or acting in films, writing film, anything that has to do with film or expression of a storyline as it's seen in the public eye, it could be plays, it could be anything like that. Your chart is highly supporting it. It's like a dream. Neptune rules the dream, and as it's transiting your midheaven, it's trying to help you make your career dreams come true and your goals for your career come true. That's going to be with an exclamation point next year, because Saturn will be on your natal Neptune in Capricorn. So it's a really great time next year for you. I'm going to just look. It has to get to 3 degrees of Capricorn, which happens in January. So all of January, you're going to really feel like you're being asked to make your dreams come true. When Saturn goes retrograde, I don't even know if it retrogrades back to that degree. So it's like, no, it does. So you're going to feel 2 hits on it, one in January, one in July, late July. And then you're going to feel the 3rd hit in October of next year. So next year is a huge, huge year for you to make your career dreams come true, period. Okay? That's what your year focus is. It's all about that. And for you, it also includes a partner, because Saturn falls on Neptune in your house of marriage and partnership. So it is also about having the right partner for your life. Okay?
Wow.
And that means that if you already are in something, that may shift, because there is something coming in, and Saturn just went into your house of marriage. It retrograded. It'll go out, so you're feeling it. Then it's going to come back in. So Saturn is really kind of the big planet for you for the next couple of years, because it's going to spend most of its time in your house of marriage and partnership, and it's going to be hitting your Neptune, which is your ideal marriage situation, the ideal structure. I've got chills all over my body for you. So that doesn't mean that it's going to be smooth sailing, because whenever the planets retrograde, it means you're going forward, and then you're going back over what the structure is and how you want it to look, and then it's going forward again in October, and then that's when the culmination will happen, and it'll be like, this is my ideal structure of a marriage situation or a partnership situation, and that's what you're going to feel. I've got chills. I've got them all over my arms and legs. So that's absolutely Spirit telling me that you're going to find the right situation for you and the partner. Okay?
Thank God for that.
It is there. It's the next 2.5 years, and then Saturn gets to Capricorn at 2018. Saturn is in Capricorn in 2018, but gets to 18 degrees of Capricorn. Let me see, probably 2019. And then let me just double check that. Make sure I'm in the right year. 2018, Saturn. Yeah, it won't be until 2019. But when Saturn gets into your 8th house, that's the commitment. That's like you're going to gel it like even more so. Like you may have it come in next year and deal with how it looks and what the structure is and how you two fit together. And then by the time Saturn hits Pluto, it'll be in your house of commitment. And that'll be like, now we've got to get the structure around money squared away and the commitment, the contract, and everything, all that. So it's going to go through its ups and downs, but it's going to be there. I mean, absolutely, Saturn on your Neptune at the beginning of next year wants you to look at what you see as your vision for an ideal marriage/partnership situation. Okay.
Wow. And I work in government right now and hate it. I hate it.
Interesting, because Capricorn rules the government. Well, you hate it because Pluto in Capricorn just went into your house of commitment, and your commitment's shifting. So wow, it's really digging up some old psychological issues because the 8th house is government, law, contracts, commitment, the deep, dark, emotional underworld. It rules the mafia. That gives you an idea. So what it's doing is bringing up the old psychological things that is triggering you, and because Pluto just went retrograde, it's really going to affect you about how you connect to what you're doing in commitment to the government, to those issues. Okay? So let me see. And then the Neptune career thing. So the combination, interestingly, Pluto and Neptune are affecting the government and the career and the ideology. Like, are you getting your emotional needs fulfilled doing what you're doing in career? But they are in sextile to each other. So this is a process of moving forward, going back, digging deep, renovating, going forward again. So Pluto, like I said, just went retrograde. So he's going to be direct in, I want to say October 1st. Wait, no, I'm in the wrong year. See, I have two ephemeruses up. I have 17 and 18. And I'm like, no. So now I'm back in 17, and that's going to be... Yeah, because, a lot of what's happening for you happens next year. That's what I was looking at. Direct on the 29th of September. Again, I said that earlier, but yeah, September 29th. So when it goes direct, it's going to be, it's in your house of work, and I can tell you probably September, the end of September is when you're going to be like, I've got to get out of here, because what happens is Pluto is shifting back forward and wants to be like changing and making a deep change. So when that happens, when that energy happens, you're at the end of your commitment, because Pluto goes back to 16, which is the partnership side of things and the balance. And when he gets into the Scorpio energy, which is back at 18 degrees, and also when he goes direct, which will be September 29th, he's like, I've got to wrap up the old story and make a major life change. And that major life change is going to set you on a new direction. And definitely I think you're going to be more committing to the emotional side of things and to your vision and your intuition. That's what Neptune wants you to do. If you're not getting the message, that's what it wants you to do. It wants you to connect to your visionary side and your creative side, your artistic side. So,
I feel like an artist.
Government.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Government kills spirit.
Oh my, yes, it does. Oh my gosh.
It's like,
especially when you got all this craziness going on, it does.
Oh, I know. Oh, I can't even, seriously. I didn't even look at the news yesterday, and I think I had a good day. Well,
please
except for my toe.
Don't. Please stay away from it. Don't.
I know, I have to. I get too upset. But I just keep looking at the end result, that what we're seeing is all the grunge that's been hidden that has to come out so that we can address it and move forward as a collective, and everyone's on board and not just one faction of society.
That's so true.
It's like, if you thought it was going to be this way, it's not this way, it's this way, and guess what? You're also getting hit. So, pay attention, and then, everyone will hopefully have their epiphany, their enlightenment, and then we'll have to, clean them out.
So true. Anyway.
Well, Appreciate the phone call, James. And
Thank you.
definitely call back and let me know how it goes over time, all right?
I sure will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Good luck
Thank
to you. Bye. Okay, let's do 313. Hi, 313. How are you? Hi. I can't quite hear you. Could you say that again?
Hi, it's Diane.
Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Diane. How are you?
You were saying 313. It's 818. So
I know, because I hit 313, but of course, computer is glitchy and dropped down to the next caller. So I'm going to take your call, but I'm. What was that?
You have time to tell me, I would love. In regards to romance,
okay.
You need to see if there's someone new or someone old, or
sure.
Or if I'm good alone. I could be okay.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick reading, but I want to get to 313 too. I got about 4 minutes, so I'm going to give you a quick reading, and then let's see here. That. Saturn is in your house of romance. It's retrograde right now. It goes direct, like I said, in August. So I think that's going to be a good shift for you. I think there's some travel involved. I may have mentioned that before. You've got Venus on your Mars coming up as well. So let's see how long Venus takes. And I'm in my 2017 ephemera, so I know I'm in the right place. So let's just find out when Venus gets onto your Mars. Your Mars is at 29 degrees of Taurus. Venus gets there on July 5th. So 4th of July weekend's a good time to meet people, actually. Real good time. And then also right after, because Venus goes into your house of sociability, which is the 11th house of friendship and networking from career. So there's some opportunities to meet some new people in a career then, which could also lead to other things. And then Saturn goes direct late August. And then as Saturn moves closer to Capricorn, you're wrapping up some old stories around travel, and there may be some travel ops. And then you're going to be probably changing jobs, or something's going to shift around the workplace energy for you. Okay? So that's going to come at the end of the year.
Oh, the end of the year.
Pardon me?
Okay.
Yeah.
The end of the year for the work change?
Yeah, okay. Definitely. And again, you've got Moon going into Virgo. This next few days, and right now it's in Leo, so it's in your house of romance. So even now you could be attracting someone romantically if you're keeping an eye out. You're a little bit more noticeable by the opposite sex right now. With like your hair is big. Like do big hair. Do like make your hair really pretty. That's what they're going to notice
good
right
these
now.
days. You know how sometimes
awesome.
Your hair comes out, and I keep looking and how come my hair's looking so good? I can't believe you knew that. You're so good, Shelley.
Well, right, that's awesome. That's astrology.
I know you have. I know you have someone else. So thank you for that. I got a lot out of my 2 minutes. You're the best.
Yeah, and the Venus energy on your Mars is also hitting your Jupiter, which is really good too. So there's a lot of opportunity for meeting someone around 4th of July weekend. Anybody invites you to a party, take it, because it's really good for you right then. Okay.
Okay. Sounds perfect. Thank you, Leslie. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, let's get to 313. Hi, 313. How are you? Sorry we messed up there.
It's all good. I enjoyed the last one. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, it's all good. How you doing?
I'm good. Is this Vaughn?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, do you call on a different phone every single time? Give me another phone number that I can. Are you 651? Because I don't have your information. No.
It's the same phone number. Yeah, the same one.
That's really strange. It doesn't come up the same every time because I don't have any information for you under this. Oh, there it is. I take it back. Oh my goodness, you were hidden. Okay, I got it. There we go. I'll have mercy.
Okay.
Okay, what can I do for you?
Scrambled energy. What is going on?
Scrambled energy.
Scrambled energy.
Uranus.
Yeah.
Uranus is on your North Node in marriage and partnership. Yeah. So you're having a hard time understanding it. Like the North Node is how you express the fortune in your life. Like it's a node of fate. So the South Node in Libra is in your first house, and it's what you bring in this life from a past life. So you want balance, you want commitment or a marriage or something around partnering. And then the North Node is Aries, which is sense of self. So Uranus is right within a degree of that North Node. So you're really having to transmute the old stuff and really honestly become more yourself and not so much the person who's trying to make everybody happy. And so Uranus is trying to get you to do that, but it's very chaotic because Uranus rules like that electrical energy. And so it may be kind of lighting you up like a Christmas tree. The lessons you have to learn are maybe a little bit more difficult because they're like lightning bolts thrown at you. So they're bits of wisdom that are like coming down at you like lightning bolts. That's what's going on right now. And it is chaotic. And then, and then you have Mercury opposite Pluto right now. And that energy, all the Cancer planets are in your Sagittarius house. And that house is the house of extremes. And then you have Pluto down in the house, and you have Saturn and Pluto in your house of thought and thinking, which is a very electrical house. It's ruled by Gemini and Mercury. So, there's a lot of intense energy right now shooting into your chart electrically. Okay, let me just see where some things are. But the Cancer energy and planets are in positive aspect to your Virgo planets. They're working as a sextile. So there's some travel. Are you thinking of moving or maybe just taking some trips?
Here's the thing.
Or going to see your mom at home?
I'm writing a book right now about when I was stranded and homeless in Hawaii 3 years ago.
Oh wow!
And for the people, don't let the people who listening don't trip. It was a good time. It was a good time. But it's kind of been calling me. You know what I'm saying? It's actually like the guy who helped me out the most. His birthday is today.
Oh my goodness!
It's kind of calling me. That's kind of why I live like I live right now. I live in an extended stay hotel, and I really don't want to commit to ratcheting down. You know what I'm saying? I looked at something downtown Detroit, but it's not. It didn't materialize like I would have liked it. But I'm like something you said at the beginning of the show resonated with me. I'm thinking about just getting off the grid. Just want to come out, staying in the house. I'm a little bit active sometimes, when I shouldn't be. I need to be sitting the hell down somewhere and getting what I need to get.
You've got the South Node just went into Aquarius, and that is part of your house of home and family. Aquarius is alternative lifestyle, alternative living situations, so not surprising. I mean, now with South Node in Aquarius, it's only been there, I would say, about a month. So it's just about to go into because they retrograde. The nodes retrograde, so the transiting nodes right now are about to retrograde into your house of home and family. So you're probably feeling that more. I mean, I feel it too. I mean, we have some similar crossovers in our charts.
You know what I'm saying when I say stay in the house? I'm saying like just cut everything off and ratchet down. Trim the fat and just do what I need to do from up till about our birthday. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? By September, because I want to drop my first book on my 50th birthday will be in September, so I want to drop that book on that day.
Yeah, same. Same. I'm looking for August to do it, Yeah,
so I'm I know I got to do it.
You've got the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all heading out of that house. I mean, eventually they're going to be in Leo. And when they're in Leo, it's going to be in your house of career. And that's going to be much more in the spotlight. You're not going to want to cut back as much. It's going to be more about connecting to people. And so I think that you're going to be kind of off on another bent of, making friends and being in the spotlight and doing it up, and that's coming up pretty quickly. Let me see, Mars goes into Leo the 21st of July, and will be in Leo until September. So, and just about our birthday. It'll be September 6th when it goes into Virgo. So you're going to have Mars triggering your career for a good long time. I mean, right now it's doing the educational, travel, home, like moving home kind of energy. I mean, Cancer in the 9th house is needing to have someplace fresh. You want a certain amount of freedom within the structure. So, I can totally understand wanting to, and Cancer needs to clear. It can, in certain aspects, Cancer can make you want to hold on to things emotionally, like sentimentality. But given the fact that those planets are opposite Pluto and Capricorn, Capricorn wants to organize and make the structure lean and mean. So I completely get that. Yeah. So you got the opposition. So there's some energy going on wrapped up around home and family, and then the need to clean and organize. That's the synergy I was talking about earlier. So, yep, it's all there. And then again, we're just waiting for that Jupiter to hit your 20-degree Libra rising. So that's going to hit the 21st of August, right in time for Saturn. I think Saturn goes direct. Yeah, the 26th. It's going to be a big week. The third week of August is going to be pretty big because Saturn will go direct.
When the Sun goes into Virgo.
Yeah, pretty much. You'll have Jupiter go direct August 26th. The Sun goes in the 23rd. Sun goes into Virgo 23rd. Moon will be there already. The Sun and Moon will both be in Virgo then. And I think the 21st in Leo is when we have the eclipse. And that's a really big eclipse. It goes right across the middle of the country. Yeah. I think it's a solar eclipse. Yeah, it's a solar eclipse.
I could check that real quick.
Yeah, check it out. August 21st is, and then right after it, the Sun goes in. It's huge. You know, solar eclipses across the middle of the country, right as the Sun's about to go into Virgo, right as Saturn's about to go direct.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a pretty big eclipse. And I will have another show on that a little bit closer, probably the beginning of August. Maybe late July.
You know, when I started learning astrology, the gentleman who introduced me to it was actually introduced me to the natal lunar and solar eclipses.
Oh,
now, wow! I find a lot of people don't get into those though, who get into astrology.
Really? Huh?
Yeah, they completely neglect it. I don't understand it. But, you know.
Well, you know, fortunately, I'm picking up more. You know, I'll tell you, my personal path of astrology has always been following what interests me. So it's very intuitive, which it has become a very intuitive endeavor for me. So
it is.
Yeah, wherever. I mean, that's been my path. It's like, well, I'm interested in this. I'll find out about that, and I have so many books on everything because whatever I was interested in, that's what I bought a book on, and. And so over time, it's been very much the growth of studying is about, well, what comes into my environment now, and the nodes and the eclipses are there, and also the asteroids have been really coming up for me as well, especially Chiron. I just don't feel, I've studied Chiron. I still don't feel like I know enough about Chiron, but I can tell you right now in your chart, you have Chiron exactly on your Chiron. So 28 degrees. And, yeah, both your Chiron is at 28 and your natal Chiron's at 28. So you're wounding around work, health, service, the Virgo energy. It's the also Pisces, because you've got it at Pisces, but it's in your sixth house of work and health. So it's around knowing, like, the intuitive side of your health and owning that you know what you need health-wise because it's intuitive, and learning how to own that and not, because that's where you were wounded. Like you knew this stuff, but you were somewhere in your life told, no, that's not okay, or that's not the way it is, or you can't be that person. And now you're in that Chiron return, and it's saying no. And on top of it, Neptune is working its way towards that degree. I have Neptune 2 degrees off of my Chiron right now, and that's trying to heal it. That's trying to be like all. It is the wounded healer. Traditionally, Chiron doesn't ever get healed. It just learns to accept the wound. But Neptune wants to help a little with healing, especially for you in the sixth house of healing. Mm-hmm.
Can I share something with you? This is the truest thing I ever wrote.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What?
But I was at work last night, and something told me Chiron, the wounded healer. It just came in my head.
Wow.
I didn't know it was that. I did not know I was on the Chiron. I did not know I was on the Chiron return. Real quick.
Wow. Yeah, it is. So, know that that's a really big energy for you right now. And Chiron is opposite your natal Uranus and your Mercury in Libra, too. So there's a really strong dynamic around that. And, again, Uranus, I didn't even see, you told me chaotic. Uranus and Mercury up here in your 11th house. Mercury is a lower vibration of Uranus, and they're both right there within 5 degrees, 6 degrees of each other. And exactly opposite is that Pisces energy, and those planets are both in your house that Pisces naturally rules. So you've got this really strong intuition energy in that dynamic, along with Jupiter going in your 12th house. You've got a really strong intuitive side you need to pay attention to, and it is a healing energy. And it is also a generational thing, because Pluto-Uranus conjunction in Virgo, you're part of that generation. So, you've got that really strong, like, alternative health energy, and I would highly recommend you get into something with alternative health. And you were talking about writing a book. The writing the book is there too, because Saturn's going into your 3rd house, which is the writing the book, and Pluto and Capricorn there. It's all about writing books, but it's also about health and alternative health. Okay?
Sweet. Yes, ma'am.
Anyway, it's always good catching up with you.
No doubt. Love this stuff. Love it.
I know. Well, good. Keep doing it. And also Uranus in the 12th house, you are an intuitive astrologer too, if you choose to do that. You're very intuitive about your abilities with that.
I do.
Cool. Well, I wish you were in Orlando. You could come to my class on the 15th.
Right. You know what I mean? I might hitchhike down there in a couple of weeks.
There you go. It's coming. It's coming. Late August, everything's going to come into place for you. Saturn will go direct, and it's going to be much better for you, okay? Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. You're a salesman, too, by the way. Big-time salesman. Get into that. Go get yourself a pharmaceutical sales job.
Ooh, don't do that. Somebody gave me a box of books, right? And I was going to give it away. I donated some books, and I got the little book, the little red book of selling.
Keep that one.
It is.
Seriously, you're a natural salesman.
Book of selling.
Saturn in Aries in your house of work, you're totally a salesman, and around health and welfare. And so, pharmaceuticals, I am not a fan of that industry, but if you could get into something that does incorporate something that you believe in health or welfare, or, it could be exercise, workout, whatever, doesn't matter, but something that deals with health and service to people. You're a salesperson. Aries is they're a promoter. Promote it. So promote the crap out of whatever you find is interesting. Okay?
All righty. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you again.
As my daughter said, get it. Okay. You take care. I'll see you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay, bye, Vaughn.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's the end of our show. Thank you so much for listening in, and I'll talk to you next week. Have a great week. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com. To subscribe, please click the picture of Shelley on the right or the red button below.